Hey VC, how's it going? Right, okay, very quick video, a real mixed bag of stuff to show. So first up, this is what I'm listening to in the background. This is Soulful Strut by the Young Holt Limited. Now, for those of you that don't know, they were the rhythm section for the Ramsey Lewis trio. So if you think about those albums like Hang On Ramsey and the In Crowds, they played bass and drums. So they went on to set up their own thing, and they made some really nice albums in the late 60s, early 70s. Tend to be sort of instrumental versions of popular songs at the time, but lots of nice funky tunes there, so very good. Right, okay. Right, I've seen quite a few videos recently. Graham at Cracking Vinyl, also Dr. Rhythm last video where they showed quite a few 12 inches. Now I've been buying quite a few this year, mainly for £1 from charity shops or from, you know, cheap from record stores. So yeah, first up, this is a 12 inch by Willie Hutch, 1978 on Whitfield Records. This is Come On and Dance With Me. The A side's okay, bit of a sort of a disco-y boogie type thing, but the B side is called Easy Does It. I'll do a needle drop on this. Yeah, a lovely, it's got a bit of a Curtis Mayfield feel to the vocal, sort of a laid back modern soul basically, but yeah, I'll do a needle drop on it, as I say. This is something I picked up from a charity shop. This was less than £1, might be 50p actually. This is It Seems to Hang On by Ashford and Simpson. Now they were the main songwriters for Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell at Motown. They also wrote some of my favourite Diana Ross tunes, the singles that she put out in the early 70s. But this is one of their own tunes from, I think, about 76, is it? 78. It's on Warner Brothers. Again, I'll do a needle drop on it, very nice. This doesn't need much of an introduction, I don't think. This is Odyssey with Native New Yorker on RCA. Came out in 1977. For me, one of the best records to come out that year. I know there was plenty of punk and whatever come out that year, but yeah, that is an absolute stone cold classic. I've had quite a few arguments about this record with mates in the pub over the years. You know, people citing stuff like Anarchy in the UK or whatever's been the best tune of that year. Marquee Moon's another one. All good, not as good as that. Yeah, stuff like Roy Ayers, Get On Up, Get On Down. This is from the Yosemite album. Again, I think about 78 on Polydor. Nice. Right, but I'll do a couple of needle drops on those. A couple of new things. This is a 7-inch that I picked up just from listening to a clip online. This is Elijah Minnelli, and it's a bit of a reggae type feel to it. It's on the Breadminster County Council label. It's like a private press. I think it's basically 100 copies or something like that. A few still available. I'll do a needle drop on this. It's a little bit reggae, but not quite. It's got that melodica going all the way through it, which makes you think of the Gorillaz, and that same sort of lazy vocal over the top as well. So if you like the Gorillaz, I think you'll like this, but I'll do a needle drop and that's very nice. Right, one other new record that I picked up a couple of weeks ago. This is the compilation Soul on the Corner, put out on Acid Jazz Records, put together by Martin Freeman and Eddie Pillar. Now, I said before, this isn't normally the sort of thing that I'd pick up, you know, that sort of celebrity endorsed compilation. However, this is slightly different because the guys really know what they're talking about. I showed the comp that came out before this, Jazz on the Corner, which was stunning. If you like soul music, this is about as good as it gets because it's got a real nice mixture of obscure tunes, and then you've got records by the likes of Donny Hathaway, Sarita Wright, Curtis Mayfield, you know, more well-known known artists, but not necessarily their most famous tunes. It's so well done, lovely sleeve notes, really nice pressings as well. So, you know, for the 15 to 20 quid, you're picking up 20 absolutely classic soul tunes. There's a fair few in there that I didn't know as well, so, you know, it's already got me down rabbit holes, looking for other tunes on the back of it. So yeah, very cool, definitely recommend that. So I've been listening to quite a few compilations over the last few weeks. Now this is something I bought early in the week from a charity shop. My local charity shop next door to our work had a few reggae compilations in. Now I left most of them there because they were on KTEL, which isn't a great label, but this is an original reggae comp on Trojan Records from 1974, 20 explosive reggae hits, and this is a nice comp as well because it's got a lot of big artists on here: Nicky Thomas, Dandy Livingstone, chosen through few, the Ethiopians, the Wailers, but it's all tunes that you wouldn't necessarily, well, it was not their obvious tunes, for example. So there's a song on here by Brent Dow, which is a version of Soul Makosa, which get my words out. So I might have had 1 or 2 drinks before making this video, but yeah. So rechristened Reggae Makossa. I'll do another drop in it. I went down to Torquay with a few friends probably a couple of months ago now, and there was a charity shop down there which had some quite nice records. Nothing was cheap, nothing was like £1 or £2, but everything was fairly priced. There's nothing expensive in there, so I picked up a couple of things. First up, this is the King Kong compilation. This is a compilation of tracks produced by Leslie Kong. Now, Leslie Kong was a Chinese Jamaican, set up his own label, and he's responsible for some of the biggest reggae tunes at the time. So they're much bigger names from a point of view of producers in reggae music, so likes of Duke Reid, Cox and Dodd, Lee Perry, but certainly it's perhaps Leslie Kong that was responsible for first getting reggae to a wider audience. So for example, the first track on here is The Israelites by Desmond Dekker, which I think was the first UK reggae #1, you know. So also tracks on here like Rivers of Babylon by the Melodians, but Monkey Man by the Maytals, but lots of lesser known tracks by other artists. So a really nice comp, really well done. This is from 1981 on Island Records. Also from the same shop I picked this up. This is Earth, Wind and Fire, Open Your Eyes. Now I've said before how much I like Earth, Wind and Fire. This is from 1974, I think. The opening track on here is Mighty Mighty, which I think is one of their best tunes. Also on here, another single, Devotion. Now, I genuinely think that Earth, Wind and Fire are underrated, you know. So you think of great songwriters from the 1970s, it's always, you know, the very serious, you know, rock singers, the likes of Springsteen and such like. You know, great musicians, great songwriters, but equally as good Earth, Wind and Fire. You think about that run of singles they had throughout the 70s, all of their albums are great. Perhaps it's the style of music, the fact it is, you know, I suppose seen as being fun and throwaway, I don't know. But the quality of the songwriting is absolutely incredible. Now, a few weeks ago we met up, we had a small VC meet-up in Birmingham. There was James Griffiths, Headley, Chris Barron, Steve Whitty, John Bellamy. And we went to a couple of shops. There's only 2 shops in the centre of Birmingham, and went for a few drinks as well. But I picked up these albums by a band called Mass Production. These are also from the late 70s, and as you can probably see there from the sleeve there, they've got a similar thing going on to Earth, Wind and Fire, that sort of disco boogie sound. Both really nice albums, but not in the same league as Earth, Wind and Fire, purely because the songs just aren't as good, you know. So so when it comes to great 70s songwriters, I'd say that Earth, Wind and Fire are right up there, you know. So cool. Right, I say we went to a couple of shops when we met up in Birmingham. I picked this up from Swordfish Records, which has been in Birmingham for as long as I can remember. This is an album by Prince Farai. I think it's called Psalms for I. This is his debut album. Now this is quite interesting because it's basically a roots reggae album, a roots reggae rhythm, but with him, well, not singing and not toasting over the top. It's practically spoken word. He's just delivering lines from the Old Testament over the top. When I bought it, I wasn't sure what I was going to think, but it's fantastic. It works so well. It's on the Carib Gems label. It's original UK press. I've played this loads over the last few weeks, so really good stuff. A few of the cheapies. Major Harris, My Way. Now Major Harris used to be in the Delphonics. I love that sleeve. Actually, a mate of mine saw that cover and so that's the sort of thing you want on a t-shirt, isn't it? You know. So, but yeah. So he used to be in the Delphonics. This album's okay. This was quite a big seller, I think, at the time. 1975. It's on Atlantic. Yeah, some of the material on it is just a bit average, but there are a couple of really nice tunes on here. Particularly a track called Loving You Is Mellow. I think the big tune on here, After Loving You as well, I've got that on 45. It's a nice tune. You know, despite the album being called My Way, I didn't quite appreciate at the time that he was going to do a version of My Way, you know, but which is alright, not too bad, so passable. Anyway, that's that. Talking about compilations, actually, when I first got into soul music as a kid, as a teenager, whatever, obviously I wanted to hear as much music as I could. Didn't, you know, obviously YouTube wasn't there, so I couldn't, you know, just pick songs to listen to on YouTube. But so it tended to be looking for compilations just to hear as much stuff as I could. And I remember one of the comps picked up was a Westbound Records compilation. I think it's called the Sweet Taste of Westbound. So it was just a sampler for that label, and one of the artists on there, in amongst the likes of Fuzzy Haskins and Funkadelic and the Detroit Emeralds and stuff like that, was the Mike Theodore Orchestra, and I've been after this album ever since. So that was 25 years ago. This album's called Cosmic Wind. It's got a big tune on it, which is a real disco thing. It's called The Bull. Great song, check it out if you get a chance. Mike Theodore worked a lot with other artists on that label, so I know I did a lot of stuff with Dennis Coffey, obviously also worked with Motown, so yeah, nice stuff. Please pick that up. This is something that I got that day, didn't buy it though. This is something that John Bellamy gave to me, which was, so thank you very much, John. This is Jimmy Cliff Special 1982. If you like that very late Bob Marley sound, sort of very late 70s, early 80s, just prior to his death, you'll like this, you know. So that sort of Could You Be Loved type thing, just nice pop reggae. But so that was really good. And just finally, something that I picked up earlier this week from a charity shop. This is a couple of quid. This is Morgana King, Higher Ground. It's vocal jazz on the Muse label. Not really my thing, but the title track is a cover of the Stevie Wonder song. So I'll do a needle drop on it. I think I best give this a bad job. So cheers, thanks.
Makusa. Mama ku, mama sa, mama makusa. Mama ku, mama sa, mama makusa. Reggae. Mapusa, reggae, mapusa.
Teachers keep on teaching.